What's going on, everybody? It's Dot Bets checking back in with our Super Bowl prop show. We are going to go over all of my prop bets that I've placed, or a majority of them. I still got about 28 hours or so before I can finalize some more. But these are all the ones that I've thrown into DraftKings and put either a half unit on or a full unit on. So I specify in there. Before we get started, wanted to go over our partnership with PickCity.com. Me, Ramblin' and Gamblin', and Hammer It Bets, we have collabed with Pick City. All of our picks are on their website. All you have to do is go to PickCity.com, and you can see our icons right here. Select options, and you can either buy weekly packages, monthly packages, and yearly deals. We will be going, we will do exclusive discounts every so often. We were thinking about doing a prop card, but I decided to just go ahead and do the live stream instead. But as you can see, just pick weekly, monthly, or yearly, add it to the cart. We add you to our Twitter group, or our Twitter handle, for our VIP group, and you get all plays for either the week you sign up, month you sign up, or the whole entire year. And as you guys can see, Hammer It, it's been killing it. He just had a sweep for like 12 units yesterday on his full card. I think he was up 4 units in the VIP. He does a lot of KHL, soccer, and NHL. And me and Ramblin' go maybe more towards NBA, college basketball, NFL, more of the mainstream sports. But Hammer It's got all the other ones. So we all collab. We throw together 3 different cards. So just check us out on Pick City. Obviously, DM us on Twitter, and we can go after it from there. All right, so let's get to all of the props. Let's go here. Super Bowl 55. sometimes I have a little hard time trying to figure out those Roman numerals mean sometimes, but I think it's 55, right? If you guys have any questions, throw them in the chat. If you have any prop bets that you hate, that you love, that you have any questions about, throw it in the chat. Always down to answer them, and you guys can drive this however you guys want to, whichever questions you got. So we'll go over our novelty props first. These are just kind of like what the F props sometimes, like our coin toss. So I like to bet on the coin toss just for shits and gigs, right? There's absolutely no research behind nothing in that. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to throw it on tails. Like I said, it's a half unit, so riding with the tails never fails. Another prop bet that I like: total players to attempt a pass. That should say over 2.5. I can't type, so over 2.5. Can't read. Yeah, over 2.5. That is, I got talked into it by Justin, who's in the chat. He likes this a little bit. There's going to be someone else that throws the football, but they just attempt to pass. So it's not a successful pass or anything like that. But there's going to be either Godwin, Kelsey, somebody who's going to throw it. Somebody else is going to throw the football in this game just to get a little trick play action. Doesn't have to be successful. So over 2.5 pass attempts or players to attempt a pass is plus 155. So I see some good value there. This one I'm getting back and forth criticism from on will there be 3 unanswered scores? I'm saying no. A lot of people that I encounter with say otherwise and say that there could be 3 unanswered. As you can, we'll look back at the Chiefs-Bucks game from Week 6. Chiefs were up 17-0 in the first quarter. Do I think it's going to go like that again? Absolutely not. I think this game is going to be a lot of back and forth, and so I'm going to go with the no here. Take the plus 170 and say no 3 unanswered scores by one team. One that I like as well, another plus value. Either team to successfully have a 2-point conversion. More teams go for it on 2 more times than not this year than probably ever before, and I'm going to stick with plus 230 here, and so let's see a 2-point conversion be hit. This one, probably a little bit contrarian. Total sacks, though. I don't think there's going to be a total of 5. I know that the Chiefs have some issues on the front line, but Mahomes is going to be able to maneuver his way, and it's not like everybody doesn't know that they have Chiefs issues. So I'm under here. Justin doesn't like it. I'm on the under. I think they're going to be able to get the ball out. Brady gets the ball out quick, more than any quarterback probably in the history of the football. I'm on the under here. Mahomes can scramble. So, like I said, there could be 4. You can get 4, but no, I don't think there'll be 5. Total successful field goals. I think that there will not be 4. So I'm going to go under on the field goal attempts, or total successful field goals. So that's the kicker there. You could be attempted, but they're also, I think, I forgot to throw those on there, but the missed field goal or missed extra point, I'll be on as well. I couldn't remember what that line was. I think it was probably plus 110 or plus 140-ish or something like that, but that'll probably be another play. And then this one, if you were tuned into our earlier stream on Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday, the opening kickoff. So we looked at Tampa Bay and we looked at New England, or Tampa Bay and Kansas City. Suck up for Tampa Bay has not recorded a touchback all year. So if Tampa Bay has to kick it, this is a lock in my opinion. So plus 230. So that's what I'm banking on here. Half unit to win a couple more. So that's the reason for that play. If Butker kicks it, we're screwed because guys got like an 80% touchback rate. So that's just another play. Coin, flip a coin and go from there. So tell me if you like anyone. Tell me if you have any other novelty prop bets that you guys are liking. But these are the ones that I'll be taking. Let's go to the quarterback props. So there's countless amount of props out there for QBs, RBs, tight ends, MVPs, all that stuff. So these are just the ones that I've honed in on. If you have any other ones you have questions on, throw them in the chat, and let's see if we can figure out which ones you like. So Tom Brady passing yards under 295.5, going to 100%. I like that a lot. If you've looked at Tom Brady's past Super Bowls, which I can pull up for you guys real quick. So here's his Super Bowl stats, and on all of the million ones that he's been in. Let me zoom in real quick for you guys. Ew. Alright, if I can see that. So he threw for 500, 466, 328. If you can recall, I believe those are the ones that he had to come back in and throw it a shit ton. As you can see, 50 attempts, 62, and 48. Well, he's 42 now? 44? I can't remember how old he is. He's old as hell. And if you've watched the Bucks play this year, they run the ball on first and second down majority of the time. So that's where I'm leaning on this play. As you can see, against the Rams a couple years ago, threw for 262, 276, 266, 236, 145 early on in his career. So he's had majority of them under 300. It's just the ones that he's played from behind that he needs to air it out. Could they very well get behind on Kansas City and that prop's screwed? Yes, but I think this is going to be a closer game, and they're going to be able, and they could be able to pretty much control the game with their running game against the Chiefs team. I think this game is going to come completely down to how the Chiefs defense plays. If the Chiefs defense can get Tampa Bay off the field, I think the Chiefs easily win the game. But if Brady and company can control the game with their run game, play action, Chiefs are screwed. So I think it honestly comes down. A lot of people are talking about the trenches and all that stuff. It's coming down to Chiefs defense, in my opinion. The Chiefs D, which has been pretty good against the pass. If you can recall, they don't allow many receivers to do much against them. So that's been good, but their run defense is awful. So that's the reason behind Tom Brady. And I have him to throw a pick. If you've watched that Packers game, he was absolutely throwing up Hail Marys for some odd reason in the second half. But he has been better this season at limiting turnovers because he hasn't probably had to force much because they run the ball pretty well. But I'm just going to throw a full unit here on him to throw a pick in the big game. Rush yards 0.5. It's Tom Brady. Come on, let's give him 5 yards. All right. Maybe he scrambles. Maybe he does something. He does that infamous QB sneak with 0 QB kneel at the end. Maybe we squeeze out right here. Patrick Mahomes over 325.5 pass yards. Lock that in. I think they are going to rely heavily on Patrick this game, especially if they get down early and the Bucks try to control the game a little bit. I can see Patrick Mahomes airing it out all day long. So you can look at his completions and you can look at his attempts as well. And maybe take the attempts more than the completions. But I think they're going to solely put this in the game of Mahomes, and over 2.5 passing yards or passing touchdowns for Mahomes as well. I could potentially pair Mahomes and Brady's passing touchdowns. Maybe you do Brady's over 1.5, but I like Mahomes over 2.5 touchdowns. Justin looking to over 1.5 interceptions plus 125. As I like to say, there's only juice when you lose, Justin. Only juice when you lose. So, I mean, I don't think he's going to throw 2. I don't know if he'll throw 2. So I'll take it here with just the 1. And then Mahomes, longest completion, over 40.5 yards. That will either, I'll call it right here on the stream, it'll be either to Hardman or it'll either be to Hill. One of those two are catching a bomb. They're going to try it. If you watched the game before, I know the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are saying that they switched some stuff up on defense, yada, yada, yada. You can't, there's just no way you can stop what Tyreek and Hardman bring to the table. They're going to keep trying it. That's what they do on offense. So I'm taking Mahomes' longest completion over 40.5, and that's either going to go to Hardman or it's going to go to Hill. So those are the quarterback props I've taken so far. Let's go into the running back props. So, main four that I'm focused on, CEH. No, it's over 1.5 for both quarterbacks. Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, so if you guys are looking into that, I like that actually. Over 1.5 for the game. Mahomes probably have to be forced to throw it, so one apiece. It's not bad. I like Clyde's Edward-Helaire anytime TD. I like his over receptions, and I like his rush attempts. So looking back on the Buffalo game, people are going to look at that box score and see that Williams had 13 and Helaire had 6 rushing attempts. If you look closely at that game, Helaire got taken out of that game in the third quarter because it was such a blowout against the Bills. When the game was close, Helaire was out touching him 2-1, and I think kind of goes against probably what I said against Mahomes, passing attempts and passing yards. But Helaire, they're going to have to establish some type of run, and I do not think that they're going to rely on Darrell or they're going to rely on Le'Veon. Helaire has been their guy for the past 16 to 18 weeks. There's no reason to go against the grain here for Reed and Bieniemy to go against the grain and not rush Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Someone posted a link. I don't know what the heck you're doing. All right, another one we like, Fournette. So Chiefs defense funnels targets to the running back position. They've averaged 5 receptions and 48 yards a game by the running back position. So over 3.5 reception yards has some juice to it. I think he should easily get this. And Fournette over 25.5 receiving yards plus 100. So I'm leaning on his receiving, and then I'm kind of leaning on Rojo's rushing. So I do think Lenny is going to get some rushing yards and do this thing on the run. But Rojo is going to take the majority of them. And if you saw the split last game, I think it was like 12-10. I think they're going to keep doing that over and over. That's been their formula this entire season. So I'm taking Rojo's over 8.5 rush attempts, and I'm taking Rojo's anytime plus 240. And then kicker right here. So I'm thinking Helaire is going to get a bulk of the backfield duties in the Super Bowl. So I'm taking Darrell Williams under 45.5 rushing and receiving yards. It's minus 152. I don't even think he sniffs this at all. Maybe he gets to 20. I don't think he goes into the 30s. So under the receivers and touchdown or tight end props, a little bit more lengthy. We got Mikey Evans, their goal line back, their goal line receiver, pretty much for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's going to score. I think he's the most targeted receiver in the red zone besides Devontae Adams this year. He just lock that in plus 100. I'm surprised he's plus 100. He should be like minus 162 like the other two that I got on the screen. So I'm taking this value for sure. Godwin over 5.5 receptions. I think Godwin's a sneaky DFS play this week too. He's kind of Julian Edelman, how Brady would kind of use him. He's old, reliable across the middle, and he gets open. So I think that's going to be who they want to get the ball to move down the field. But then, if you also realize tight ends against the Chiefs absolutely abuse the Chiefs. So I'm going on the side of Gronk with Brate's injury, uh, and just because he's Gronk, I've been on him all year long. I'm going over 29 and a half receptions, receiving yards, and the longest reception being over 15 and a half. So if you've watched the Bucks in the playoffs, him and Brady have literally missed on 5 to 6 post routes for 20 yards. He's missed like probably 5 to 6 easily. So that's where I'm thinking they're going to finally connect on one and get that reception there. And Tyreek, I'm going to go over 6.5 receptions. I think it's at minus 125. But I think when I looked at, so I took this probably Tuesday or Wednesday. It's now at 7.5 on DraftKings. So I would probably maybe go half unit on that. Don't know if he'll get to 8. I like it to go to 7. Tampa Bay is playing a lot more zone now. You still have to, he's going to slither his way through and figure out a way to catch it into the zone there. Same with Kelsey. That's why I got his receptions as well. Those two have been the backbone of how they've gotten to this position, and I don't believe that they're going to stop. Plain and simple, stick with what got you there. If they don't get to this number, then that's where Tampa Bay is probably going to easily win this game, because they're going to limit those two big guys, and it ends up being where Hardman, Watkins, or Hilaire or somebody like that has to beat them, which they possibly could. As you guys can tell, I'm back and forth between who to pick on this game, so I have not taken a side. I've taken a ton of props, but I do not know what side I will be taking yet. Longest reception, so this is going to tie into that longest completion with Mahomes. I'm going to go Tyreek Hill over 27.5. Maybe he catches a bomb. Maybe he catches, a pass, a slant down the middle, or maybe he does a little, little touch pass sweep that they do, and he takes it for 50 yards. There's so many ways that he can go over on this, so I'm gonna take my chances here. Tyreek is just that elusive. I'm also going to do anytime touchdown for Tyreek and pair that with Kelsey's anytime touchdown as well. Like I said, these are two guys, two staples that need to get in the end zone if the Chiefs want to win this game. And then I'm also taking Watkins under 36.5 receiving yards. I don't know if he's fully healthy, so I'm going to bank on him playing, but maybe not being too effective, maybe being a little bit more of a decoy. And so I'm going to go under his reception yards. And then Hardman is going to be my big anytime touchdown with that plus 265. So maybe they do one of those bubble screens again where he gets them in, or they can do that little push screen with him around the red zone. He takes it off the side. So that would be all the props there. And then these are my MVP props. As you can tell, probably going to be Mahomes or Brady. But I do want a long shot with Kelsey at plus 1,300 just in case he has a stupid monster game and for whatever reason they give it to him over Mahomes. So that's just I'll probably I'd put a half unit on Kelsey's instead of the full unit on Mahomes or Brady. 36.5. Wow, I'm on that with you. Yeah, for Sammy, yeah. My thinking. My thinking with Sammy, like I said, is just I don't know if he's fully healthy. I don't think he's going to be able to get there. Does he catch a couple passes? Is he going to get to 37 reception yards in the Super Bowl? Just coming back from, I think it's a big time calf injury. I don't see it. So I'm going to go under there. And yeah, Hardman's my guy. He's their change of pace when everybody's on Tyreek, everybody's on Kelsey. Hardman's been their guy all season long. So those were MVP props. So let me know if you guys have any different ones. If you liked any of them, I can go through them again. Just slide by slide. The novelty props. And like I said, I'm probably going to be on the missed extra point or missed field goal. I think that's anywhere between plus 110, plus 140. That's another one that I'm going to be looking at. And then the QB props. Again, for anybody who's new that just topped in. And the running back props. and then the receiver props again. So, if you guys have, let me try to look into the Chiefs Bucks game of week 6. So, see the box score ahead. It was 20-7 at halftime Chiefs, and Tampa Bay scores 14. I think there was a prop bet of, is there a score in every quarter? And I would side on yes, just because these two teams are pretty elusive offensively. So I would side on that, and this one obviously says, hey, they did in fact score in every quarter, so that would not be a bad one. And then Mahomes Tyreek had a stupid game. Is he going to repeat that? Absolutely not. If you think that he's going to repeat that, you're ridiculous. Have all this available either tonight or tomorrow morning so we can go over it again. Oh, well, I'll bring my laptop or something like that tomorrow and go it over again. We're going to hit up some same game parlays on FanDuel. Get you guys some extra cash, But Brady threw it 41 times for 345. Like I said, I don't think that's going to be the case. This Bucks team is completely different than that Bucks team that played them. Like Rojo was the main guy, then Lenny was barely doing much. This is going to flip flop. 3 carries for Fournette. He's probably going to have 13 carries. So add 10 more here. I'd probably sit it with 9 with Rojo, 9 to 10. But this is the one that I like, the Gronk factor. And if you see Prate, so you can go Brate, but they had 10 receptions combined for 140. Like I said, the tight end position gets abused on this Chiefs defense. So target either one, whichever one you like a little bit better. But I'm leaning on the side of Gronk, and like I said, Godwin, he's his guy. Mike Evans gets the deep balls if he completes them, and then he gets the touchdowns. But Chris Godwin is the guy in the middle that makes it all work, and he gets those passes. So that's why I'm taking his receptions, and I'm taking Evans' touchdowns. So I've pretty much watched the Bucks all year pretty intently. Do think this game is going to be a lot closer than people think. Maybe I'm just around a lot more Chiefs fans than Bucks fans in that sense. See, but Fournette got 3 receptions in the backfield. And Rojo had a 37-yard completion. That's not going to be to Rojo this time. That's going to be to Lenny. That's why I like those over receptions. Hilaire had 11 carries this past game. Do I think he gets to that? I think he's going to be in the 8 to 12 range. In that aspect, Le'Veon probably won't sniff anything. Some people have been on Mahomes' over rush yards. I could see him scrambling, but I'm just not going to take my chance there. I think it was like 23.5. So I'm not going to take my chances there. Sammy had 4 receptions for 38. This is when he was fully healthy. I mean, and Kelsey still had 8 receptions for 82. I mean, they had 21 completions between both of them. So I'm going to stick with those 2 pillars that got the Chiefs here. They're going to dial up plays like they always have to get Kelsey the ball and to get Tyreek the ball. So Hilaire is going to have a pretty good game on the run or on the ground, but Mahomes is essentially going to take over. He's going to have to. And I stayed away from maybe just because don't know how effective he's going to be with this knee injury. I don't know if he is fully healthy. You could maybe take all of his unders if you don't think he's healthy. I just stayed away completely. I'm going to focus on the top 3 guys here, and then the 2 guys rushing, and then be under for Brady. So if you guys have any other questions, hit my DM on Twitter. So that'll be it for Super Bowl coverage. I will probably tweet out my position either on the total or on which team I'm on. But other than that, those are all my prop plays that I'll be taking for right now. If you have any questions, just hit me up on Twitter. See you boys.
should just believe that what they say is true.